Talk with Aza and Sab.
And we are really glad you're here with us.
In this episode, we're going to talk about something very close to our daily life as teenagers, social media.
More specifically, whether social media is necessary for mental health teenagers.
I'm Azaria.
And I'm Sabrina.
So, let's begin our discussion.
So, before we go to the future, let's take a look for a video clip about how social media can affect for teenagers and for mental health.
For the first time, a new warning about something else, social media and what it means for kids' mental health.
Why now for this advisory?
We're issuing this advisory to sound the alarm.
Surgeon General Vivek Murthy says there's not enough evidence to show social media platforms are safe enough for kids and teens.
Wow, that's actually interesting. It shows that social media isn't just entertainment.
Yeah, and it also shows that many effect for mental health and for teenagers.
That's true. And since social media is already part of our everyday life, it makes us wonder how much it actually influences us.
Exactly. Sometimes we don't realize how much we spend a time for scrolling every day.
Think about this. The average teenager spends several hours on social media every day. But have we ever asked what that habit does to our mental health? Be honest, how many times do you check your phone in a day?
Honestly, I don't even count anymore. I wake up, I check. I am eating, I check. And also, I'm stressed, I check.
Exactly, and that's what makes me wonder. Are we actually okay, or are we just used to it?
I think we're just too used to it. Social media is already part of our daily life, even group chat and daily activities and information often happen there.
That's true, but normal doesn't always mean healthy. A study in Damascus in 2019 found that teens who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media are more likely to experience anxiety and depression. And honestly, 3 hours is easy to reach without realizing it.
I see your point. But that study is a connection with interest, and then direct coach teens will already feel anxious, and then lonely might spend more time for online. In that case, social media could be in a symptom, not the main cause. And according to the Phil Research Counter in 2022, it says many teens social media helps them and feel closer to their friends.
Okay, that's fair. But let me ask you something. Have you ever post something and then keep checking who liked it? Or felt your mood change based on how many people reacted?
Yes, but sometimes that might show emotional depends, not necessarily that the platform itself is harmful. Maybe what's needed is better announce regulation and not that the connection.
And that's the problem. The connection feels good, but it also brings pressure to replay fast, look good, and stay interesting. And that constant pressure can slowly affect your mental health.
Pressure exists everywhere, and then not just online. We're post and it at school, in a competition, even in a friendship. Maybe the real issue is how we handle the problem, the pressure, not just where it comes from.
Exactly, but the difference is online pressure never really stops, and it doesn't stop there either. Another thing affected by social media is sleep. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine says teens need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. But how many of us actually get that?
Not me. I tell myself just 5 minutes, and suddenly it's 1 a.m. How? But at the same time, that's still my choice. And then something just a screen time instead of deleting everything.
Same. And the National Sleep Foundation found that screen time before bed lowers sleep quality. And when we don't sleep enough, we become more emotional and less focused.
And then I agree. Sleep is important, but blaming social media entirely remove responsibility. And then a lot of apps in the App Store, Play Store designed to help us to hook games, streaming platforms, and then even books. The education might be discipline, and then time management, not full detox.
Maybe the real solution isn't choosing between detox or no detox, but learning when we need a break. Features like infinite scrolling and notification are designed to keep us scrolling longer.
I get that, but if we never learn to control our habits, it might be and deleting one app want to solve the bigger problem. We might just replace it with another distraction, I think.
Because sometimes we say we limit it and we don't. For some people, a detox isn't about being dramatic, it's about breaking a cycle.
But saying detox is the solution for everyone. Recombination is oversimplifies the problem. The problem could actually be deeper than that.
So, more like a reset button?
Yeah, I think so. Possibly, but a reason should be followed by real behavior and then change, not just temporary escape.
And then there's comparison. This one is huge. We scroll and see perfect bodies, perfect grades, and perfect life. Even if we know those poses are edited, we still compare our real life to someone else's highlight reel.
But comparison don't disappear just because social media can all disappear. Students compare grades at school. Athletes compare information, performance, and friends can compare achievements. The real issue might be self-esteem, not the platform itself.
There was a study from the University of Pennsylvania that found limiting social media to about 30 minutes a day reduced loneliness and depressive symptoms. That means less exposure actually makes people feel better.
That study actually supports limit use, not deleting everything. And it suggests moderation works. And then if control we already reduce negative effect, then detox may not be necessary for the everyone.
That's true. For some people, it's empowering.
And exactly, many teens use social media to share art, promote small business, join small teams, fandom communities, and or find support groups. For them, everything could be actually reduce confidence and connection.
Okay, but what if detox isn't for everyone? What if it's for the moments when you realize you're constantly comparing yourself and feeling worse?
Then it becomes a personal decision, not a universal recommendation.
Yes, like checking in with yourself.
You know what's interesting?
What?
We're not really arguing about how whether social media is good or is bad.
Yeah, we're going about how much power it has over us.
And maybe that's the real issue, not the application or apps itself, but whether we're in control.
Exactly. If it controls your mood, your sleep, and your confidence, maybe that's when detox becomes necessary.
But if it inspires you, connects you, and helps you grow, balance and self-discipline might be becomes a more sustainable solution for than deleting everything.
So maybe the real question isn't whether social media detox is necessary for everything, but when it becomes necessary.
Exactly. Because social media is completely good for good or completely bad, and it depends on how we use it at daily activities.
For something, detox can help us a reset.
And for others, setting boundaries and using it more actionally might already use enough.
The most important thing is staying aware of how it affects your mental health.
And thank you for listening to our discussion today.
We hope this conversation encourages you to reflect on your own habits.
I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Azaria.
See you in the next episode.